Good Sunday morning to you. March 21st is actually the day SteenSmokeHouse became live on YouTube. I didn't have my first video out until the 25th because it took me a while to shoot it and learn how to edit and so on. But today is the 21st of May and this will be our 21st video together. I'm doing something different. I haven't done this recipe exactly like this ever, but it's a pretty common recipe, but this one's going to have a little twist, and I'm going to change some of the components in it to become more in harmony with things that SteenSmokeHouse does. And one item is going to be a mystery, which is an item I've already cooked that's going to go in a moment. I'm going to show you our ingredients for today's cook. These are the ingredients for our cook today. From left to right clockwise, this is our mystery meat. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I think it's going to go really well with the other ingredients for today's cook. I've got two of these 2-alarm chili kits. I've got some tomato sauce. I've got some petite diced tomatoes. I've got some oyster crackers, and I've got some hot Italian sausage. And I don't know. I think I'd like to incorporate beans in it in some fashion. I may cook them off to the side so we can kind of add them in later for those that like beans and leave them out for those that don't. Of course, we'll have cheese and we'll have onions and the typical chili garnish. But in a moment, we're going to get busy and put this chili together. We're going to use about a pound of this pork loin we cooked yesterday in the PBC. This is our surprise ingredient. I'll probably show it. We're probably close to the end of the video right now. But anyway, I'm just going to show you how nicely this stuff carves up. I'm going to cube it. I'm going to use about a pound of it and a pound of the hot Italian sausage. And that's how we're going to make our chili. So that's about a pound right there, and maybe just a bit more. There we go. That's about all we need. We're going to make this into little cubes so it will take on the flavor of our seasoning in our chili, but not overcook. I was going to run it through our meat slicer and thinly slice it, but this is kind of an old school way to cut stuff with an old hickory knife and just make it the way you want it. So we have about a pound of our meat I saved from yesterday's cook, which is our pork loin on the PBC. I thought it would make a nice addition to our chili we're making today. So I'm going to take this and a pound or so of that spicy Italian sausage, blend them all together, add the tomato sauce and the cubed tomatoes and some of the spices, and let it simmer and become chili. First, our meat elements go into this recipe. This is the first one, our hot Italian sausage. Remember to take the little backing off of it, because you won't like the outcome if you don't. Next, we'll put in our pork loin roast meat. The recipe calls for 2 pounds, and this will be 2 pounds of meat, only it'll be 2 pounds of different kind of meat. Then we're going to go ahead and brown this on the stove, and then add some of the seasoning packets after we drain off whatever fat and juices and stuff we don't want. Okay, I've browned both of our meats. I've drained off the excess fat. I've put 1 can of tomato sauce in, 1 cup of water, and another, when I say cup, I mean 8 ounces, same size as the tomato sauce. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. And they've already got all the packets pre-measured, so I'm just going to start dumping them in there, and they're all labeled with what they are. The first thing I'm putting in is paprika. no particular order. They just say put everything in there but the mesa flour and the pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the salt in anyway. Onion garlic mix. Chili pepper powder. And cumin and oregano. That's all mixed up in the same little bag. And that's about all for the spices. I'm probably gonna cut up a Poblano pepper and maybe a couple other little things and also put in here, but right now it's a matter of just stirring this up and letting it get cooked. So, it's looking pretty good and actually smells pretty good. We're varying from their recipe a little bit, but that's kind of what cooking's all about, to kind of add your own touch to it. So, we're gonna let this go for a while and I'll be back with you shortly. As you can see, this is a pretty good sized Poblano pepper. I'm going to cut it in half and quarters, probably use 3/4 of it. I'm not going to use the whole thing, but that'll add a little character to it. They say you can add onions, or of course you can add anything you want to it, but cooked onions and me just don't agree with one another. So anyway, you can watch while I slice it up.
We're about 3/4 of the way through our chili cook. I thought I'd grab a little taste and give you a look. It's simmering nicely. The color's beautiful. Smells amazing, like you might think. And this is our hot Italian sausage and our PBC pork loin cooking in here that we're making chili out of. I am making beans so I can please both audiences. I'm going to give myself a thumbs up. This is a pretty delicious stuff. And in a moment, I'll show you the beans. As we're cooking our chili, there's our beans. I'm cooking them on the burner right next to it so I can blend them all together, and they cook about the same amount of time, and they'll come out right and make a great dish, one with beans, one without.
Okay folks, it's Sunday afternoon. Our chili's done. This project really turned out good. The combination of the hot Italian sausage and the pork loin that we smoked in the PBC, mixed up, added a Poblano pepper, diced up a little bit, and mixed it all together and cooked it as per the directions exactly. I put everything that comes in the 2-alarm chili kit. I didn't put all of the hot spicy pepper in it, but it came out delicious. It looks right. I've got some shredded onions on there. I've got shredded cheese on there. I've got some oyster crackers on there. And it makes a nice presentation. And it's one of those things they call comfort food. I do have one with beans, one without, just to be fair to everybody. Mario said, no, Texas chili has to have beans in it. Gabriel said, no, Texas chili doesn't have beans in it. So just to be fair, I cooked it both ways. And I'll tell you what, give this recipe a shot. It's delicious. You'll be happy you did. Thank you so much for watching SteenSmokeHouse episode 21, Chili. You have a great weekend. Thanks so much for watching.